Hi guys, my name is Poober. Thank you for joining me for episode 7 of Factorio 0.15. And in last episode, we built this factory here for our belt and inserter production, which serves the dual purpose of not only increasing our supply of these items, but they also get fed over here into our red and green science factory, which is now fully automated. And another thing you might notice is that I've also cleaned up our iron gear supply here, which was a little bit of a mess since last episode. I've cleaned that up and then also input our column here for our red belt tech. So we do have build up now for our red belts, which will be great for the plan I have in this episode. Now, if you'll notice, one of the big problems here is our iron throughput. We just can't keep up with the demand, and it's not because we have too little iron ore coming in, but because we have too few iron furnaces. So to mitigate that, I'm obviously needing to expand our iron smelting production, but I don't want to do that until we actually have a main bus set up for our iron and all of our other products to feed to. So that's what I'm hoping to do this episode. So I've already picked up a couple stacks of our belts as well as a couple undergrounds and splitters just in case. And I've decided on a circumference for our circle, which we will have encompassing this lake here. We're going to do 100 by 100 units, which I will then put into a program called Plots. It is something that I originally used when I used to play Minecraft, but it's really good for games that don't have a natural circular shape, and it allows you to make things like circles in games where there is no natural circle. So I'm going to use the yellow belts kind of as placeholders just to give me a visualization of where I want things to be centered. And I do have the plot circle pulled up on my other monitor here, so I think for starters we're going to make this will be true center, just to give myself a visual cue. So this eventually will be kind of a road that will go top to bottom, and I want it 3 wide. And then I want, let's extend this up a little bit just so I can see better. And then we're gonna have the 5th belt here is representative of where the wall is gonna be. So imagine this will be a wall and a wall here. And then I want a space here, so that way we can, you'll have to use your imagination, but move a belt this way if we wanted to be able to go, underground. We don't need that now though. So we've got a space there, and this is where we're going to actually start the bus. And I'm thinking this will be a line of iron for now. The question is, how far up do I really want to start that? I will have to fill in some of this lake in order for my design to work. Let's see, do I have any? And I already kind of have a plan in place for how I want to move or place things, so I'm going to be using some assemblers also as kind of a visual guide for where I'm going to be placing stuff. Okay, let me put this actually onto our toolbar here so it's a little bit more convenient. Luckily, we still haven't had any biters, so we're not having to worry about that yet. And bear with me as I plan this out a little bit. I am trying to look at my other screen as well to see where everything needs to go. Whoop. Okay, good. So Because we're doing a 100 by 100, and for those of you following along, if you have plots pulled up, the first line I'm starting with should be 7 wide. I'm not counting this one because this is just what's going to join the top and bottom belt here. So 7 wide, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is going to be where our wall is. So that's where I'm coming up with 7. And then the next one is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a 2. I'm just checking a couple of things first, making sure I've got the positioning right. And that looks good so far. Okay, so we've got a 2. Next is 3. Another 2, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Let's kill that tree. And then 6 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7. Okay, so that's looking fairly circular so far. That's only a quarter of it, but I imagine by the time that it's fully done, it should look pretty much like a circle. So I'm going to spare you guys from having to watch me do this entire thing. So we will fast forward and this should be done. have it. We have a complete circle now. And it even looks like a circle on the map here. And iron will be feeding from our main smelters up here somewhere into these lines, as well as copper, steel, and then some stone or some stone ore. Okay, let's refill in our belts here real quick. We're definitely running low on those, just because our poor iron farm can't keep up smelting. So in order to actually start to make use of our bus here, I will have to fill in this water here pretty soon, but that can be done, you know, down the road. Eventually, I will want to add a couple layers to this, so with the power of editing, let's get that done. And I've run out of belts, so I may have to finish layering our bus here once I build up some more red belts. But for now, I'll grab what I can of a couple more, about 36 or so. And then I'll see if we can just start planning out kind of where our input from our smelted products will come in from. And sorry it's so dark, you guys. We don't have electricity up here yet, so not much I can do about it quite right now. But for planning purposes, we're going to have at least 4 belts worth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. I'm not entirely sure what products they will be yet, but I know I do want to put in kind of some assemblers and a factory feeding off the bus, kind of in a crescent-shaped formation over here. So this line I know for sure is going to be iron. That I do know. What I don't know is whether I want to keep iron solely on this left hemisphere, or if I want to do like 2 belts of iron over here and then 2 over here. I don't know quite yet. But let's start mapping that out regardless a little bit more. And then let's extend that up here a little. And then we are going to leave a 2 gap. One, two, okay. So there will be 2 spaces in between the next row of belts. And that will allow us, for instance, to do like 2 belts copper, 2 belts iron if we choose to, you know, 2 belts steel, 2 belts, you know, green circuits or something. So those logistics I still don't have worked out quite yet, but I do know that up here somewhere will be our new and improved smelting station. Just how far up I do need to decide. Well, I think we're going to call it there, guys. I kind of just have to wait for our red belts to build up so that I can finish filling in our circle. But we've made some progress. We have a plan in place. Now we just have to implement it and play the waiting game. Thanks for joining me. I'll hope you'll join me for the next one.